35 miles west of Syracuse. Once a focal point of the Underground Railroad, it's Leo Pinckney Park at Falcon Park, the home of the Auburn Doubledays against the Niagara Falls Americans. Today, a big matchup between these two. I'm Tom Ruck alongside Ethan Duncan for a PGCBL West Division game. Ethan, welcome in.
Should be a good one here. These teams have been waiting 26 days to play again here. Americans took the first one 11-10. Auburn trying to even the season series in Auburn. Should be a good one.
Absolutely. The Doubledays coming into today 14-8 on the season. The Americans coming into today's game 9-13 on the year. 3-7, however, on the road. The Doubledays 7-4 at home, 7-4 on the road. The Americans 6-6 at home. They lost their last game, which came all the way back on Tuesday in Geneva against the Red Wings. The first matchup between those two teams this season. Auburn, a big win last night, though, over Elmira.
A huge win over Elmira yesterday. Eaton also fell to Geneva a couple days ago as well. Americans that Geneva game, something they're going to want to forget. Just were up the whole game. Just pitching fell apart for the Americans. Certainly humidity didn't help. Didn't get to play the second game. That one either canceled or rescheduled. The Americans would really like to play that game because they know that's a team they can win, that they could beat, and honestly could have beaten them if the pitching had collapsed. Yeah,
in that game, 15-7, the Red Wings over the Americans. Niagara Falls, 15 strikeouts, a season high in that game coming on Tuesday, June 30th. This will be their first game of the season in July as we enter the new summer month. Also 10 walks in that game for the Americans, reaching double-digit walks. They fell apart kind of in that seventh inning, letting the Red Wings put up 9 runs in that seventh inning, and that game kind of just ended after that inning, it seemed. And then the Doubledays yesterday winning a big one over the Elmira Pioneers, 14-6. Brendan Smith, the highlight of that game, 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. It's going to be an exciting one, though, today. As you mentioned, the first time these two teams will face off in just under an entire month. When you think about it, a lot has changed, though, for the Americans since that last game.
Yeah, since that last game, coming into that game, they were 0-3. Since then, their record, as you mentioned, now 9-13. So since that game, they were 1-3. So after that, they've went 8-10. Sort of the other side there. For Auburn, they were 3-0, then lost that game after being 3-1. They're now 11-7. Sort of flipped there for the Americans. Americans handed this team their first loss, and they were down by a lot in that game. Were able to come back. Certainly something that we've seen this team do, come back from behind, especially in that Elmira game.
Yeah, it wasn't just a first win of the season. It was a huge victory for the Americans. They came back and won on a walk-off in that game, 11-10. Derek Jesmondi, a walk-off base hit right up the middle. In that game, the Americans had a season-high walks in 15 walks. That really propelled them to a victory, a really high on-base percentage in that game. And Auburn, on the other end, used 16 position players in that game. 10 different players had a hit. So their offense was really striving in that game. They just couldn't figure out a way to finish it.
Yeah, usually Americans are out-hitting their opponent that game, albeit they won 11-10. Out-hit 12-9. Auburn also had 2 costly errors. That's something the Americans have dealt with every single game. What is it now, 12 straight games with an error, Tom?
14 straight errors for the Americans. So see if they break that today against the Doubledays here at Leo Pinckney Field at Falcon Park. The Auburn baseball history very deep here in New York. Served as a farm team for 6 different MLB organizations: Yankees, Mets, Twins, Phillies, Astros, and the Indians. Again, we're at Falcon Park. Will Cordero, Thomas Eaton meeting with the home plate umpires. It's going to be a fun game today, though, nonetheless, as we take a look at the starting lineups. The Americans batting order first, as they are the away team. So the Americans, Justin Gladfelter to lead things off, hitting second. David Harris will bat second. Justin Gladfelter playing second, batting leadoff. Matt Ganshall hitting third. Playing left field, Dominic Zangardi as the designated hitter. Derek Jesmondi in center. Adam Weiss over at first base. Alex Glasscock getting the start today. Anthony Savino on the bench. Logan Stickler will be the extra hitter today. His first start since Sunday in Game 1 of the Elmira Pioneers doubleheader at Sal Maglie Stadium. He went over in that one. looking to rebound today, though. Cooper Rowell getting the start at third. Nick Pass behind the plate, and Colin Price, a redshirt sophomore at Georgia Highlands College, getting the start on the mound today for the Americans against the Doubledays here on a Friday afternoon. A 3 p.m. start today, a little bit different. Nonetheless, a 3 p.m. first pitch coming here at Falcon Park as we take a look at the Auburn Doubledays defensive alignment.
Smith in left field, Monahan in center, Ambrosio in right field, Fontaine at short, Shoup at third, Cooper at pitching, Benavenga catching, Bats at first, and Gonzalez at second.
Yeah, the star really in that lineup, Teddy Monahan. Teddy Monahan playing center, really the star player in that lineup for the Doubledays. Monahan this year been kind of that main guy in the lineup all year long. You look at Monahan's numbers, I mean, batting .418, leading this team in RBIs, hits, extra base hits, and at-bats. 55 at-bats on the season for Teddy Monahan, riding a 5-game hit streak coming into today as well against the Americans as they look to overcome a 1-game losing streak against the Doubledays today. The Doubledays coached by head coach Thomas Eaton in his first season with the Doubledays. Many years of scouting and coaching experience from his time with the Muck Dogs and the Geneva Red Wings. Also spent time with the Cincinnati Reds and Kansas City Royals in the MLB. Coach Eaton is currently the head baseball coach and assistant athletic director at Daytona Beach Christian University. Has also won a World Series ring with the LA Dodgers. 2 assistant coaches for the Doubledays. Tim Bowerman, hitting an outfield assistant coach, going to be a graduate assistant coach at William & Mary, a Division I school in Williamsburg, Virginia, in the spring. And then Tim Mack, a Long Island, New York native, current graduate assistant coach at Westminster College in Fulton, Missouri. Spent 2 years coaching at Alfred State as well, also played there for 2 years. So there's your coaching staff for the Doubledays. Then the Americans, of course, led by Will Cordero, a 14-year MLB veteran. 3 p.m. start today at Falcon Park. We'll take a pause, come back for first pitch here from Auburn, New York. You're listening and watching PGCBL Baseball on the American Sports Network.
Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com.
Back here at Falcon Park, where the starting lineups are being announced. The 3 p.m. start today as we get underway. Leo Pinckney Field at Falcon Park. The Americans' first game of July. See how they take today's game after a couple days off. Getting heated out yesterday at Geneva. No game, too hot in the 90s. Auburn played yesterday, though, at Elmira and won that one. Auburn coming into this one off of a successful season in 2025, going 25-15-5. An unbelievable record at home last season for the Doubledays compared to on the road. They really dominated last season here at Falcon Park, 19-3-1 at home compared to 6-12-4 on the road. But this year, very even, 7-4 at home, 7-4 on the road.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams like that, especially for Jamestown, that really kills it away, 8-1. But this team really balanced either side here, like in that third spot in the playoffs currently. But that's honestly what you want as a team. Really can do it on both sides, whether you're home or away. Not really trying to rely at home, trying to rely at away. I mean, it goes to show you can do it anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at those top 4 teams will make it onto the PGCBL playoffs as we pause here to honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Just one day away from our country's 250th anniversary, the Americans will host the Batavia Muck Dogs tomorrow at Sal Magley Stadium for 250th birthday, July 4th. A big game, fireworks show presented by the city of Niagara Falls right after the final out. We have a first pitch here at Falcon Park. A hot one, but not as hot as it's been. Been in the 90s in Niagara Falls. 89 degrees today in Auburn currently, especially on turf as well. Going to be a hot day for these players. See how they can overcome the heat.
We talked about how well this team can hit, really hitting 60 points above the Americans and everything. They're third in most categories, third in average, fourth in the slugging, fourth in on base percentage. Even when this team strikes out more than 10 times, they're still 4-2 on the year, Tom. It really just goes to show, even if some hitters aren't playing well, the others really can.
Yeah, Auburn really dominating on the offensive end this year, coming into today hitting .307 as a team compared to, like you mentioned, the Americans' .249, which is just second worst in the entire West Division, whereas the Doubledays, second best in the West Division, behind the Muck Dogs, who the Americans will play tomorrow. So a rough stretch for the Americans this week. Doubledays, Muck Dogs, back-to-back days. Then they'll host the Geneva Red Wings on Sunday in a PGCBL West Division doubleheader with a 2:05 start. So on the mound today for the Doubledays is Soren Cooper. Cooper going to be a sophomore at Denison University, the top school in all of NCAA Division III, won the national championship this past year for Denison. He 6 appearances on the year, went 1-0, 7 earned runs, and 8 innings pitched. Played actually his freshman fall at SUNY Cortland, but then transferred. A couple of Denison guys in the lineup today. For the Doubledays, Ethan Smith, another one of those, and Flynn Shoup, the starting shortstop for the Doubledays today. So Gladfelter will lead things off for the Americans, coming to the plate for a 3 p.m. start here.
In their win against Gladfelter, 2 for 4, pair of singles, also had 2 walks, so really started with him in that win.
Gladfelter riding a 3-game hit streak coming into today. 4 strikeouts 2 nights ago in Geneva. First pitch underway, fastball down the middle for strike number 1. Gladfelter on the year hitting .271 with 4 RBIs. His calling card, the stolen base. 20 steals in 15 games, also 24 runs. Cooper winds and deals. Gladfelter swings and misses for strike 2.
Really doesn't struggle to find strikes. 12 strikeouts to only 4 walks. Second best on the team.
So Cooper way ahead 0-2 here against Gladfelter to lead off the top of the first. Pitch. Chopped to short. Shoup over to his left. Makes a nice diving stop, but cannot get the ball out. So Gladfelter reaches with a leadoff infield single.
Definitely a hit there for Gladfelter. No chance, even if he makes that play, to able to get Gladfelter out at first. We've talked about it. It goes through Gladfelter. He reached space safe 4 times in that game against Auburn. Reaches safely again. Got to have to be careful here for Auburn to try and catch him running. You certainly know he's going to.
Yeah, Gladfelter's speed just makes things happen. You look at Flynn Shoup, a really nice diving play up the middle, but unable to get the ball out of his glove as in steps David Harris. Gladfelter off first. Cooper working the stretch. Pitch to Harris is in there. Called strike number 1 on the outside corner. Gladfelter 20 steals on the year, leads the team by a big margin as he's being held on at first by Justin Batts. Miles Fontaine in at third base. Doubledays defense in up the middle. Pitch to Harris, fouled straight back. So now behind in the count 0-2 against Soren Cooper.
Cooper 2 straight at bats, 0-2. Able to foul out, hit that single on that 0-2 count. Harris going to try and fight in on this one.
Harris been probably the most consistent bat in the lineup all year for the Americans, now hitting .432. Pitch from Cooper. Harris checks his swing, but doesn't go around, so it'll be 1-2 now. Harris riding an 8-game on-base streak coming into today. On those 8 games, 12 for 23. Just batting over 500 in the last 8 games for David Harris.
Harris, arguably their hottest hitter, and really plays anywhere in the outfield. Wherever Coach Cordero puts him, really know he's going to excel.
Yeah, in right field today, Gladfelter, a good lead off first. Pitch from Cooper, there he goes. Throw down. Got him. A hose from Jake Bentavanga throws out Justin Gladfelter for the first out of the inning.
Great throw to Bentavanga. Pretty good jump from Gladfelter. Just it's really where you want to have it, right above the runner, so you can tag him before he gets there. Huge first out. That's a 2-2 count here to Harris.
So pitch was called a ball outside with the fastball from Cooper. Now 2-2 to the lefty Harris. Cooper kicks and deals. Curveball misses up and away. Now ball 3.
That's certainly a good sign if you can throw out runners. We really didn't see that for either runner in the Geneva game with Svaner and Pass really struggling to batters out. And it led to C.J. Gamble having 6 stolen bases here, but not going to be the case for Gladfelter.
Pitch misses. Ball 4 to David Harris. So he extends his on-base streak to 9. And Harris on base once again.
Cooper's really struggling to find that third strike after getting a quick 0-2 after Harris fouled that pitch off. 4 straight balls. Happy that Bentavanga threw the runner out, but easily be first and second, no one out.
So here's Matt Ganchow, the lead third hitter today for the Americans, playing left field this afternoon. First pitch from Cooper, curveball misses up and in for ball number 1. As I mentioned, a couple guys in this Doubleday lineup today from Denison University, the #1 school in all of Division III. Just an absolute domination of a year from the Big Red. Harris off first, pitch to Ganchow, cut on and miss for strike number 1. Harris on the year, 8 stolen bases in 15 games for the Americans, off first. But Gladfelter thrown out makes him a little bit more cautious. Pitch, Ganschow fouls a fastball down the first baseline, so now behind in the count 1-2. One out here in the top half of the first. Justin Gladfelter reached on an infield single to lead off the game, then was thrown out trying to steal second. Pitch to Ganschow, low. Now 2-2. Cooper misses with the fastball. Good action count now for Harris to run on if the Americans want to go for it. But like we mentioned, Gladfelter thrown out leading off the game.
Certainly want to be careful if you're Harris. Stolen a couple of bags, but really don't want to be another second out trying to get in the second.
Cooper deals to Ganschow. Chopped to the left side of the infield. Fielded on one hand by Fontaine. He'll go across the diamond for the second out of the inning. Harris moves up to second.
Didn't look at second at all. Just knew he really was going to have a play there, able to get Ganschow out at first. It brings up Zangardi. Had the scored the tying run in that game against Elmira, looking to put the Americans up by 1 here. Harris at second.
So in steps Dominic Zangardi. Zangardi, the last time these two teams played, went 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Takes a fastball outside for ball number 1.
Dominic Zangardi steps up to the plate. David Harris is on second base. Picked off.
Pretty long between outings here for Cooper. Played on the 13th and played 5 days later. Then 6 after that. Hasn't pitched over 10 days.
Working from the stretch, checks Harris, pitches Zangardi, misses upstairs. Now 2-0 against a dangerous hitter in Zangardi. Zangardi actually threw an inning and a third on the mound 2 days ago when the Americans played the Red Wings. Got Jackson Lerner out of a jam in that 9-run 7th inning. Then pitched the next inning as well. Zangardi ahead 2-0. Harris off second. Cooper works from the stretch, deals, misses low. Now 3-0 to the Niagara University incoming freshman.
Nowhere to put him here with Zangardi. And if he walks him, brings up Chismondi and Weiss, who can also hit. So Cooper in a little bit of a jam here. Obviously 2 outs, but he's going to have to start throwing some strikes here.
Cooper 3-0 to Zangardi. Swung on and missed. Zangardi a 3-0 hack in the top of the first. The Americans coming out aggressive today at Falcon Park. So now 3-1.
Interesting decision there. That pitch looked high, but I really liked what he saw, but still 3-1 count here for Zangardi.
Pitch to Zangardi. Hit to the right side. Fielded by Justin Batts with one hand. A race to first, but he'll beat Zangardi to the bag for the third out of the inning. So in the inning, the Americans get no runs on no hits. No errors in the inning, and 1 run left on base. It's 0-0. The Doubledays coming to bat here in the bottom of the first.
The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics.
Back here at Falcon Park, the home of the Auburn Doubledays in Auburn, New York, as we take a look at the Doubledays starting lineup today. Flynn Shoup leading things off, made a nice diving stop there in the top of the first, but could not throw Justin Gladfelter out from shortstop. Nacho Gonzalez, the designated hitter. Teddy Monahan in center field, one of the best hitters in the PGCBL this summer. Justin Batts over at first. Ethan Smith at third. Miles Fontaine at second. Michael Ambrogio, Jake Bentavenga, Braden Michelson, Steven Ambrogio, and Soren Cooper, the starting lineup for the Doubledays. And the Americans' defensive alignment this afternoon.
Matt Ganschow in left field. Derek Jesmonte staying in center. David Harris moving to right. Glasscock coming in for Anthony Savino after a couple strikeouts from him at short. Cooper Rowell staying at third. Adam Weiss, Justin Gladfelder staying where they usually are at first and second. Nick Pass staying behind the dish. Colin Price pitching here.
First pitch from Price is a fastball fouled off by Shoup. Price makes his first pitching appearance in just under a week. Started on last week, Saturday. Price working out of the stretch. Windup, deals to Shoup, who rips the ball down the left field line, but it's foul. So Price quickly ahead 0-2 here against Flynn Shoup, who's an infielder from Petaluma, California. Long ways from Auburn, New York.
Talked about how many players they had in that loss to the Americans on June 6th. It didn't opt to use Shoup there, but batting .350, maybe wondering if they should have.
Price ahead 0-2. Pitch upstairs, misses with the fastball. Price going to be a redshirt freshman in the fall at Georgia Highlands College. Didn't play at all his freshman year, looking for a even better redshirt freshman year. Here's the 1-2 curveball down and away. Really nice take from Shoup. This past year at Denison University for Shoup, 16 games played, just 1 hit and 8 at-bats. Also 6 strikeouts. Didn't get much time for Denison, but a really successful year to be a part of. Here's the 2-2 from Price, misses outside, and Shoup's worked it full.
Shoup yet to have a walk this year, only 5 strikeouts, on the brink of drawing one here.
It's going to be a full count pitch from Colin Price to Flynn Shoup. He deals. Fastball fouled off down the right field line, and Shoup really working a textbook leadoff at-bat here against the American starter and Colin Price.
This will be pitch number 8 here. He's already fouled off a couple nice pitches from Price. Try not to walk the leadoff guy.
Here's the 3-2 to from Colin Price to Shoup. Is swung on and missed for strike 3. A fastball upstairs. Shoup clearly frustrated with himself. He's down on strikes for the first out of the inning.
You're never happy if you're swinging at a high strike when you could have walked on that pitch, but big first out here for Price against this talented Doubledays team.
1 out. Pitch fouled off down the left field line. So 0-1. Now Price quickly ahead against Nacho Gonzalez. This team full of great names. Nacho Gonzalez, Justin Batts, a great baseball name. Price working from the windup, deals to Gonzalez. Pitch outside, misses, now 1-1. Gonzalez coming into today, 2 for his last 11. Takes that one down and in for ball 2. Only 2 extra base hits on the year, but did have one yesterday against the Pioneers. Had 2 for 4 with a double yesterday at Elmira. Pitch hit down the third baseline, foul. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes coming from Colin Price to Nacho Gonzalez. Price sitting in the mid to upper 80s this afternoon so far in this first inning. Working out of the windup, deals to Gonzalez in the dirt, gets by pass. Nobody on base. So now it'll be a full count pitch coming from Colin Price to Nacho Gonzalez.
Unlike Shoup, who only struck out, pretty even here for Gonzalez. 7 strikeouts to 7 walks here. Price looking for strikeout number 2.
Pitch from Price. Fastball misses up and away. So ball 4 to Nacho Gonzalez, and the Doubledays have a runner on here with 1 out in the bottom of the first.
Gonzalez, a little bit of a threat to run. 3 stolen bases, but has been caught twice, so really a wild card running down those bases. If he's going to reach safely, so it'll bring up Monahan.
Monahan riding a 5-game hitting streak, 6 for his last 15 with 3 RBIs and 4 walks in those 5 games. As Price misses down and away for ball number 1 with an 86-mile-an-hour heater. Gonzalez off of first. 3 steals on the year from Gonzalez. That one lands in for strike number 1 against Monahan.
Certainly someone you don't want to face if you're Price, slugging 709, has the 2 home runs for this team, also a pair of triples.
Picked off to first. Gonzalez back in time. Teddy Monahan plays his collegiate ball at Niagara University. Played in 34 games this past year. 267 batting average. 5 doubles, 3 triples. But traveling to Auburn for the summer instead of playing for his collegiate town. Here playing against him today. That one's in there, called strike 2.
You would have think Matt Ganschow and Dominic Zangardi would have tried to sway him over here. Maybe next year we can see him in that red, white, and blue.
Yeah, Monahan from Wayne, Pennsylvania, so not really near home either way. Pitch from Price, hit into left center. It'll fall for a base hit. Jesmonti ranging over. He'll cut it off. Gonzalez going from first to third, cut off from Glasscock, and he'll make it. So Monahan laces a single to left center, and Gonzalez goes from first to third on the play. The Doubledays have runners at the corners now with 1 out.
No chance there for Glasscock. Just over his head. Played well by Jesmonti in center to keep it from him scoring, but now first and third here. Looking for double play ball here for the Americans.
So here's Justin Batts. Playing first base this afternoon. Colin Price working from the stretch. Steals. Fastball outside corner. Gets the call for strike number 1. Batts a 5'11", 220-pound first baseman from North Brunswick, New Jersey. Hitting .319 this summer with 12 RBIs. A Division I player at Delaware State. Monahan off first. Gonzalez off third. There goes Monahan. Batts follows it straight back right on the heater, but now behind 0-2, and Monahan will have to head back to first after attempting to steal second.
Monahan was looking for stolen base number 8 here. Now quickly 0-2. Batts 12 RBIs, but also tied for first on this team with 12 strikeouts. Trying to do the latter here.
So it's Monahan off first, Gonzalez off third. Price pick off to first. Monahan back in time. So Batts behind 0-2. Price working from the stretch. Deals to Batts. Misses way outside. Gets bypassed. And Gonzalez will score on the wild pitch. The Doubledays take a 1-0 lead against the Americans here in the bottom half of the first.
It's been the problem for this Americans team all year long. Those wild pitches. Huge one there on Batts when down 0-2, just looking for a pitch. Just put it way too far outside for Price. That's wild pitch number 3. More importantly, it gives Auburn their first lead.
24th wild pitch of the year for the Americans. Pitch from Price. Batts fouls it down the right field line, out of play. Kind of middle of the road in the PGCBL in terms of wild pitches for the Americans this year, but the hit by pitch been more of an issue. 59 hit by pitches on the year, which is the most in the West Division, compared to 24 wild pitches, the 7th fewest. Pitch to Batts. Fastball hit into right field. Harris will drift back a couple steps, make the catch. Monahan will tag from second to third, and he'll make it. So there's the second out of the inning on a Justin Batts fly out to right. But a productive out as Monahan goes from second to third.
Productive out indeed. You get the runner to move over on the wild pitch. Now gets over to third easily. No chance for Harris to throw him out at third. You're trying to make it, keep it a 1-run game here.
So here's Ethan Smith, the left fielder this afternoon for the Doubledays. Colin Price still working from the stretch. Deals a fastball fouled straight back by Smith. So now 0-1 against Ethan Smith. So Smith down 0-1 against Colin Price. Here in the bottom of the first, the Doubledays lead 1-0 with 2 outs in the inning. Second pitch at the at-bat. Price, that one's dribbled down the third baseline. Going to be a tough play for Rowell. Fields with one hand, going across the diamond, and he gets him. Cooper Rowell, a nice play to end the bottom of the first and send the Doubledays back to the dugout. But they lead 1-0 as the Americans are coming to bat. But what a play from Cooper Rowell.
Huge play indeed from Rowell. Played on a couple of hops. Smith certainly not a slow runner there. Bang, bang play at first. Ump gives the call. Huge out there for the Americans. A thing that could have went either way.
You look at that first inning from Colin Price. I mean, a little bit higher of a pitch count, I should say, than what he wanted to in that first inning. But ultimately, Price gets out of it with allowing just 1 run. And the Americans come to bat here in the top of the second at Falcon Park.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park.
Back here at Falcon Park, Derek Jesmati digs in. The 0-0 from Soren Cooper. Outside corner, misses with the fastball against Jesmati.
Will only be 7 innings, so less time to sort of come back from this deficit.
1-0 pitch, misses outside. For ball 2, Jesmati quickly ahead. So, yep, we're only playing 7 today. Because of the heat, 89 degrees currently in Auburn, a scorcher. 3 p.m. start today. Jesmati steps into the box against Cooper, ahead 2-0. That one's chopped to second. Fielded by Gonzalez over to first, and Jesmati is retired for the first out of the inning. So nobody out in the inning, or 1 out, excuse me. Gladfelter just grounded to second. Pitch to Weiss, in there, called strikeout number 1. A nice pitch from Soren Cooper on a curveball. So it'll be an 0-1 pitch coming to Adam Weiss. Pitch, fastball, fouled off. Weiss is tick late on that one from Soren Cooper at 86 miles an hour. Now it'll be an 0-2 to the Americans' first baseman this afternoon. Cooper way ahead 0-2. Here's the pitch to Weiss. Cut on and miss. Strike 3. Weiss down on strikes for the second out of the inning. All gas, no brakes right there from Soren Cooper. Just blew it right by Weiss for the second out of the inning. Here's Glasscock. Savino started Tuesday's game at short for the Red Wings. Actually made a couple nice plays in the field. But Glasscock getting the start today. Swings at the first pitch and misses for strike number 1. Seems to be a big part of Glasscock's game. Loves swinging at that first pitch. Aggressive hitter in the box from the right side. Pitch from Cooper misses upstairs. Now 1-1 against Glasscock. Just his 4th game of the year. 2 errors on the season for Glasscock. Struggled a little bit in the field, but had some good at-bats. Pitch misses low. So Glasscock now ahead in the count, 2-1 against Soren Cooper. Cooper working from the windup, 1 out in the inning. Pitch to Glasscock, fastball fouled back. Glasscock getting that one on the hands a little bit, now 2-2. Count is even at 2 against the American shortstop. Cooper looks in for the sign from Bentavanga. Deals to Glasscock, misses upstairs. So now a full count coming to the American shortstop today. It'll be a full count pitch. Cooper out of the windup, deals. Upstairs, ball 4. And Glasscock reaches with a 1-out walk. Yeah, Vinny Favada thrown out of the game on Tuesday for arguing a call at first. Stickler came in and, like you mentioned, didn't have the best of at-bats in the world, but now getting the start this afternoon in Auburn. Stickler actually started first game of the doubleheader on Sunday against the Pioneers. Ahead 1-0 pitch. Popped up on the right side of the infield. Justin Batts drifting back on the edge of the infield, and he makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. A nice play by Justin Batts to haul it in. And there is the 3rd out of the inning. So in the top half of the 2nd, the Americans get no runs on no hits, no errors, and leave 1 runner on base. We've played an inning and a half. And the Doubledays are ahead of the Americans 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 2nd here at Falcon Park.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup.
So back here at Falcon Park in Auburn, New York. Right near Syracuse. Just off the I-90, the seat of Cayuga County in central New York. As I mentioned earlier, was a focal point of the Underground Railroad, most famously serving as the home of Harriet Tubman for over 50 years. So we're now in the bottom of the 2nd. Colin Price, his first pitch, and he hits Miles Fontaine, who will reach here in the bottom of the 2nd.
Fontaine only batting 188. Hadn't had a hit by pitch prior to that. Certainly not someone you want to get on base. And then for Price, only his first hit by pitch of the year. Leadoff runner gets on safely again.
So hit by pitch number 60 on the year for the Americans. That one misses up and in. Price frustrated with himself. kind of ducks his head after throwing that ball. Number 1 to Michael Ambrogio. Digs in from the right side, an open stance, starting in right field today against the Americans. Pitch from Price, misses upstairs with the fastball once again. Price sitting anywhere from 85 to 87 with the fastball this afternoon so far. Fontaine off first. Price working from the stretch. Checks on Fontaine. There he goes. Pitch hit into center. Jesmani takes a couple steps back. He'll make the catch and get the ball into second as Fontaine retreats to first. So Ambrogio is retired for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Ambrosio only 1 hit on the year. Couldn't get one there. No chance for him to be doubled up at first.
Here's Jake Bentavenga doing the catching this afternoon for the Doubledays. He plays his collegiate ball at the University of Rochester. Fontaine off first. Price working from the stretch. Deals the first pitch to Bentavenga. There goes Fontaine off first. Passes, throw down from one knee, not in time. Fontaine overslides second, but gets back on for the Doubledays' second steal of the afternoon.
Second steal for Fontaine after that hit by a pitch comes back to hurt him. As now a runner on second in scoring position.
The Americans really struggling with the stolen bases as of late. Now Fontaine off second. Price checks him back. First pitch misses upstairs. Second pitch of the at-bat, excuse me. Count is 1-1 here to Bentavenga. Fontaine off second. A good lead. Looking to score on a base hit from Bentavenga. Deals upstairs. Now 2-1 from Colin Price. So now 2-1 to Bentavenga. This past year, 36 games played at Rochester. Checks Fontaine back. Price deals. Cut on and miss. Now strike 2. So it'll be a 2-2 pitch coming from Colin Price.
First swinging strike we've seen in a while from Price. Looking for a big second out here. Trying to keep him at second base.
Bentavenga, a good game last time these two teams met. 2 for 3 with an RBI as well. Price checks on Fontaine. Deals to Bentavenga. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Colin Price. A huge strikeout sends Bentavenga back to the dugout for the second out of the inning. So 2 outs in the inning. Here's Braden Michelson, the designated hitter this afternoon for the Doubledays. Here's the pitch from Price. Fastball cut on and missed for strike 1. So 0-1, Colin Price ahead of Michelson, who did not play in that first game against the Americans. The Doubledays leading the season series against the Americans 1-0. Price deals to Michelson, fouled straight back, right on a heater, but Price ahead 0-2 now.
Yeah, trying to have a much easier second inning besides that hit by a pitch. Could easily come by the strikeout.
So count now 0-2. Price way ahead of Michelson. The 9-hitter this afternoon, Stephen Ambrogio on deck as the 10-hitter for the Doubledays. Michelson calls time. Michelson comes to the Doubledays from Plymouth State University in Plymouth, New Hampshire. Played 31 games this past year, batted .311 with 7 extra base hits on the season. Played some shortstop and third base. Fouls that one off behind home. A good off-speed pitch from Colin Price, able to get Michelson to chase, but better offense fouling it off at home by Braden Michelson.
Michelson looking to give Auburn their first 2-out RBI. Currently 1 for 5 with runners on. Compared to the Americans who are 0 for 3.
Price, last time he threw for the Americans was on a pitch count of 50 pitches. We'll see if that goes true today or not. But Price working from the stretch. Checks on Fontaine. Deal. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Colin Price here in the bottom of the second. And the Americans are coming to bat in the top of the third.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family-owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria.
So in steps Cooper Rowell, the third baseman this afternoon for the Americans. His first at-bat of the game here in the top half of the third against Soren Cooper. Takes a pitch on the outside corner for strike number 1. We're now in the top of the third. The Doubledays lead the Americans 1-0. Remember, just a 7-inning game today due to the heat here at Falcon Park. 89 degrees currently, even hotter out there on the turf. Pitch from Soren Cooper misses in the dirt with the curveball. So Cooper Rowell didn't check his swing. Count is now even at 1. Pitch inside, called strike. Now 1-2. So Rowell behind in the count 1-2 here against Cooper. Pitch inside, misses with the fastball, 82. Cooper dropped a couple in velocity now as the game goes on, but a good game to throw if you're a pitcher with it being so hot out. Here's the 2-2, misses upstairs. Cooper Rowell working a good at-bat here to start the top of the third.
The Americans looking to be 2 for 3 with runners leading off here.
Working out of the windup, Cooper deals to Rowell. The 3-2 fastball inside corner called strike 3, and Cooper Rowell down on strikes to lead off the top of the third.
Good breaking ball inside. Rowell didn't like it, but looked like it just clipped the zone. Be a big first out.
So in steps Nick Past, who's been struggling at the plate the past couple games. Doesn't have a hit in his last 5 games played. Pitch to Past in there, called strike number 1. Past coming into this at-bat over 14 with 8 strikeouts in those 14 at-bats. Very open stance from the righty catcher. Pitch from Cooper upstairs and misses now. 1-1.
Past was trying to get the winning RBI in that game against Elmira. Had a runner on second with 2 outs, struck out on 4 pitches. Trying to reach safely here.
Pitch to Pass, curveball on the outside corner, lands in for strike number 2. So now Pass behind 1-2. Cooper ahead in the count. Doubledays playing Pass to pull. Monahan over a little bit in left center. Pitch, fastball inside corner, called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Soren Cooper. 2 quick outs here at the top of the third.
Back-to-back strikeouts. Look to be at that exact same spot there on that inside corner. Right-handed hitters got to be weary knowing that they're going to get that inside call.
Yeah, really grooving the heater on the inside half of the plate already this afternoon. Here's Justin Gladfelter, 2 outs in the inning after 2 strikeouts looking. First pitch to Gladfelter, fastball. Gladfelter hits it down the right side. Ambrogio ranging over, and he makes the play. So a quick 1-2-3 inning worked by Soren Cooper. And the Americans go down in order here in the top half of the third. The Doubledays coming to bat in the bottom of the third. Americans so far on offense been really shut down.
Yeah, wouldn't have minded for Gladfelter to take a pitch there, just flied it into right. Price going to have another good inning like he did in the second. So we'll head to the bottom of the third.
So Colin Price jogs back out to start his third inning of work on the mound for the Americans today. Price, a two-way guy, seen some action in right field this year, also as the extra hitter and the designated hitter, but just on the mound today doing the pitching for the Americans. Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Greater Together Credit Union for sponsoring the team this season. Greater Together Credit Union offers personalized banking services, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts to anyone who lives, works, or attends school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit GreaterTogetherCU.com, or you could stop by one of their 2 Western New York locations, 2901 Military Road in Niagara Falls or 160 Ward Road in North Tonawanda, where you'll find support for all of your banking needs. The Americans would also like to give a huge shout out to Hyde Park Elementary for supporting the team this season, placing a strong emphasis on community involvement and family engagement. The school is dedicated to creating an inclusive and safe learning environment. Hyde Park Elementary's commitment to education is helping to build the future of Western New York, and the Americans thank them for their support. So we're now in the bottom of the third. Doubledays lead 1-0 against the Americans. Colin Price back out there on the mound. Like I mentioned, wearing the blue jerseys today are the Americans. They'll take on the Muck Dogs at home tomorrow for a little 4th of July action at Sal Magley Stadium. Fireworks post-game sponsored by the City of Niagara Falls, presented by the City of Niagara Falls. So going to be quite the show. No fireworks in the city of Buffalo this year for the first time in a long time. So head out to Niagara Falls and enjoy a big fireworks show after a good game between 2 KNUSA-owned teams in the Americans and the Muck Dogs. Leading off now for the Doubledays is Steven Ambrogio. He takes strike number 1 from Colin Price on the inside corner. Pitch to Ambrogio, swung on and missed. Now strike 2. Pitch from Price, swung on and missed. The leadoff strikeout for Colin Price. And Michael Ambrogio back to the dugout for the first out of the inning.
I think you screwed up the names by accident. The extra hitter is Sal Bay, shortstop, number 2, Flynn Shoup. What happened?
So back to the top of the order, and Flynn Shoup, he struck out his first at-bat. Pitch from Price, outside corner, lands a curveball. Nice start from Price against Shoup.
Price looking for another easy inning here. He's got a 1 here to shoot.
So now 0-1 for Price, working from the windup. Deals to Flynn Shoup. Pitch hit into left center. It'll fall for a base hit. Ranging over Jesmondi. He'll cut it off. Shoup rounds first. He's headed for second. Jesmondi's throw in, not in time. Flynn Shoup a 1-out double as he slides in safe at second.
It's going to be an easy single there. Jesmondi, who usually doesn't struggle in center field, has a bobble similar to that play earlier. She cut off to have it be first and third. Now a 1-out single. They'll give that an error or to say it was a double. But nonetheless, run on second here with Gonzalez.
So Flynn Shoop off second, 1 out in the inning. Nacho Gonzalez at the plate, down 0-1. Colin Price checks on Shoop at second. Pitch inside, misses, now 1-1. Gonzalez walked in his first at-bat back in the first inning, came around to score on a wild pitch, the only run of the ball game so far today. Price checks Shoop at second, deals to Ambrogio. Popped up on the left side of the infield, now drifting into the outfield. Glasscock under it, he makes the play for the second out of the inning. So 2 outs in the inning. Here's Teddy Monahan, one of not only the best hitters on the team, but also in the entire PGCBL. A .709 slugging percentage coming into today.
Certainly would go up after that hit he had.
Pitch from Price, fastball in there, called strike number 1. So ahead 0-1 here in the bottom of the third against Monahan is Colin Price. Just playing 7 innings today due to the heat here at Falcon Park. Still 89 degrees here in Auburn, New York. Price ahead 0-1. Pitch to Monahan, fouled off down the right field line, and Price quickly ahead 0-2 against the Doubledays center fielder today.
Another quick 0-2. Price looking for his 5th strikeout. None looking so far, Tom. Just really has had a lot of swings and misses.
Price working from the stretch. Checks on Shoop at second, who's got a good lead. Pitch to Monahan. Hit into left field. That'll fall for a base hit. Shoop rounds third. He's headed home. The throw in from Ganchow's cut off by Rowell at third. And Teddy Monahan, a 2-out RBI single, makes it a 2-0 game here for the Doubledays.
Another hit for Monahan. More importantly, an RBI. Another 2-out hit for the Doubledays. More importantly, they increased their lead up to 2.
So a roped single to left field. And the Doubledays extend their lead to 2-0. Monahan takes off from first. Throw down for pass. Call is safe. Glasscock had the tag on. Gladfelter did off the bounce, but another stolen base against the Americans.
Not the greatest jump. You think a better throw might have been a close play, but pass still struggling to throw runners out. Plays it on a bounce. Another runner in scoring position here. Bat single. Make it a 3-run game.
Pitch from Price to Bats in there. Called strike. So now 1-1. The Americans really struggling on the offensive end today. Haven't really had anything going in 3 innings of offense. So Price now working from the stretch with 2 outs in the inning. Pitch to Bats outside, misses. Now 2-1. Price checks on Monahan at second. Deals to Bats. Fastball fouled off on the first baseline. Now 2-2. Bats on the season this year hitting .319, but struggling coming into today. Just 3 for his last 15. Hitting .364 at Falcon Park here in Auburn versus .280 on the road. Pitch from Price. Fastball gets by Past. So Monahan moves up from second to third. Looked like Past just kind of missed that one. I don't know if miscommunication on the signs or crossed up or something, but a fastball that Past usually squeezes all day went right by him.
Absolutely, especially in that Geneva game. He had to move and dive, hit a couple wild pitches to learn, a really uncharacteristic there for Past.
Pitch to Bats, misses low and away. Ball 4. So a 2-out walk issued by Colin Price, and now the Doubledays set up with runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Only the second walk for Price. As you mentioned now, runners at the corners for Ethan Smith. So 0-for-1 currently.
So here's Ethan Smith playing left field this afternoon. Bounced to third in his first at-bat back in the first inning. Bats off first. Pitch from Price, outside corner, called a strike. So Price quickly ahead 0-1 against Ethan Smith. Wears number 13 for the Doubledays. An open stance from the right side. Standard hand movement, though, with his stance. That one misses upstairs. Now, 1-1, Price against Smith. Smith going to be a sophomore at Denison, another Denison guy here on this Doubledays team. That one cuts on and misses. Now 1-2. Smith this past year at Denison played in 16 games, had 6 hits and 16 at-bats, so successful year in limited action. Pitch from Price, fouled off on the first baseline. Bats running off of first. 1 steal on the year. Now 1-2, Price deals. Curveball misses upstairs. Price wanted it, didn't get it. Now 2-2.
That's a really good curveball there from Price. Just missed the zone to a 2-2.
Yeah, good spot at the top of the zone with the curveball. Price, that one's fouled straight back by Ethan Smith. So now it'll stay 2-2 with runners on the corners. We're in the bottom half of the third here at Falcon Park. 1 run already in the inning on 2 hits for the Doubledays. They lead 2-0. 2-2 count. Pitch to Smith is fouled behind him. Now 2-2 once again. So Price in his 3rd inning of work here for the red, white, and blue. Working from the stretch. Runners at the corners. 2 outs in the inning. The Doubledays up 2-0. Pitch. Hit into center. Pretty deep. Jesmondy ranging back near the track, and he hauls it in for the 3rd out of the inning. So in the inning, the Doubledays score 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and 2 runners left on base. The Americans come to bat here in the top of the 4th. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the Americans Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer.
Back here at Falcon Park in Auburn, New York, the Doubledays out of the Americans 2-0 here in the top half of the 4th inning. David Harris coming to bat for the Americans, playing right field this afternoon. He walked into his first at-bat to extend his on-base streak to 9 games. Some action going on in the Americans' bullpen. First pitch to David Harris, misses down and in for ball number 1. As the rain starts to fall here at Falcon Park. Pitch to Harris, misses low and away for ball 2, so 2-0. Pouring now here at Falcon Park as there was supposed to be a storm this afternoon. So some fans trekking back into the concourse. Pitch misses up and away, now 3-1. Harris way ahead 3-0 against Soren Cooper here at Falcon Park. Here's the pitch. Inside, called a strike, so now Cooper back in the count 3-1 against the Clarkson University outfielder. Harris this past year batted .253 and really going off this summer for the Americans, hitting over .420 in this summer. Here's the 3-1 to Harris. Fastball hit to the left side and through for a base hit. David Harris continues his hot streak for the Americans. He reaches here to lead off the top of the fourth.
Just put enough on that one to get under the glove of Fontaine, able to slow it down, but still single, so 2 straight times Harris has reached safely. Hopefully the Americans can find something here. And who do you want but Matt Ganschow?
So Ganschow steps in from the right side. 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to the third baseman. Pitch upstairs, misses as we see thunder and lightning, and the home plate umpire will put his hands up and stop for a 30-minute delay here at Falcon Park. So we'll pause here on the American Sports Network and find out. Once we know more, we'll update you here at Leo Pinckney Field at Falcon Park on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park.
So we're back here at Falcon Park in Auburn, New York, in the middle of a rain delay. Pouring rain here in the middle of the storm, as we are in a 30-minute delay for each lightning strike that appears in the sky. So currently in the midst of the first 30-minute delay after some lightning as well as some thunder here at Leo Pinckney Field and Falcon Park in Auburn, New York. I'm Tom Rook alongside Ethan Duncan during a rain delay. So an update back here at Falcon Park in Auburn, New York. We will resume baseball action at 4:40 p.m. in the middle of a rain delay here in Auburn after a couple lightning strikes, some rain falling on the turf, but baseball will be resumed here at 4:40, and we'll be live here on the American Sports Network. Tom Rook alongside Ethan Duncan. 4:40 start. So we're back here at Falcon Park in Auburn, New York. Coming out of a rain delay after a couple strikes of lightning and a couple cracks of thunder. We're back here at Leo Pinckney Field at Falcon Park as Soren Cooper heads back out onto the mound, but a couple of changes on the Auburn defense. Take a look at their defensive alignment as Jaden Madrid going to take over in center field for Teddy Monahan, who's going to come out of this one. And you've got Ethan Smith in left, Michael Ambrogio out in right, and Miles Fontaine, Flynn Shoup, Nacho Gonzalez, Justin Batts all staying the same in the infield. Jake Bentavenga behind the plate, and Soren Cooper back out there on the mound. Poured for probably about 10 minutes, as you could see. And now we're back here at Falcon Park. Matt Ganschow digs in. Count is 1-0. Derek Jasmati coming up later in the inning, but David Harris on first. So Ganschow digs in after the Harris single. Ganschow ahead 1-0. Harris off first. Soren Cooper from the stretch misses inside to Ganschow. Now 2-0.
Ganschow had to wait half an hour for a ball. It's really not one of the worst things to wait for.
So now 2-0. Ganschow ahead, the team leader in RBIs this season. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike one. So Ganschow ahead 2-1 in the count. David Harris off of first. Ganschow struggling at the plate a little bit. 2 for his last 9. There goes Harris from first. Pitch driven into right field. Right at Ambrogio. He'll make the catch. Harris going to retreat to first. The throw in. It's not in time. Harris makes it back to first.
Ambrogio's throw came in on a couple of hops. Probably the reason why he stayed at first. Well, he's able to be safe at first. Harris probably would have been in safely. Just lined right to Ambrogio in right field for out number 1.
Yeah, not the greatest throw on a couple of hops. And Batts had to pick it at first for it to have a chance. Here's Dominic Zangardi digging in from the left side. Pitch. Fastball outside corner. Misses for ball number 1. Zangardi 0 for 1 this afternoon. Bounced to first base in the first inning for the third out of the inning. Harris has reached both times. He leads off first. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. The Doubledays head 2-0. Pitch to Zangardi. Outside corner. Gets the call. Now 1-1. Zangardi coming into this game, 8 for his last 16, 5 RBIs in those 16 at-bats. Only 6 strikeouts on the year. Cooper, the 1-1. Outside, misses. Now 2-1. Doubledays ahead 2-0. Americans took the first matchup between these two earlier in June of this year, 11-10 on a walk-off base hit from Derek Jasmati. Here's the pitch. There goes Harris off first. Zangardi fouls it back. Now it'll be 2-2. And Harris will trot back to first.
Yeah, second time he's had to do that. Actually, last time he was running back to first.
Harris on the year, 8 steals, 17 runs, just 4 RBIs. But still able to get on base at a very high clip and score a lot of runs for this Americans team. Zangardi hitting from the left side. Here's the pitch from Cooper. Hits straight back, foul. Zangardi all over it. So now 2-2.
Got some bat boys here, Tom. Certainly something we haven't really seen PGCBL a lot. I think Geneva might have had one, but certainly some of the Americans wouldn't mind to have.
Harris off first. Regular size lead. Zangardi, 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Upstairs, misses. Good take from the Americans' designated hitter. Now full count. Harris off first. 1 out in the inning. A Ganschow fly out to right. Full count pitch coming to Dominic Zangardi. Cooper working from the stretch. Deals. There goes Harris off first. And again, Zangardi fouls it straight back. Zangardi this past year in high school actually just got picked for first team in all area for his high school season. Pitch to Zangardi. There goes Harris, and Zangardi fouls it off once again.
You know, Harris got to be a note at some point. He's like, "Can you just hit this one fair?"
Very long at bat. Zangardi named to the 2026 5A First Team All-State. Count is 3-2. Harris back off first. Zangardi hitting from the left side. Cooper deals the 3-2. Pitch misses inside. Zangardi works a one-out walk, and the Americans set up here in the top half of the fourth.
Credit Zangardi, that great at-bat. Fouled off a lot of great pitches now. First and second here for Jesmondi. Go ahead run here in the top of the fourth.
So Jesmondi at the plate. A big at-bat with runners in scoring position here for the Americans. Jesmondi, first pitch, outside corner, gets the call to Soren Cooper, and that's the first strike of the at-bat.
To be a little outside there, certainly something Jesmondi's going to have to see. We've talked about how he's been getting that inside strike call there. Those right-handed hitters, looks like it's going the same way on the lefties as well on the outside.
Zangardi off first, Harris off second, pitch outside. That one lands in. Jesmondi nods his head, says, yep, that one caught the corner, and he's behind 0-2 here against Soren Cooper. Jesmondi 0 for 1 today. In the box, pitch. In there, called strike 3. And Soren Cooper sends Jesmondi back to the dugout looking for the second out of the inning.
Jesmondi, a guy who doesn't strike out a lot. 13 walks, only 4 Ks. A huge one there. Can't move the runners over as Weiss looking to get at least an RBI here. Salvage this long fourth inning.
Weiss 0 for 1 today. Struck out swinging his first at-bat. First pitch from Cooper. Weiss drives that one into left center. Ranging back is Ethan Smith. He hauls it in for the third out of the top of the fourth. So in the inning, the Americans get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We play 3.5 innings. The Doubledays ahead 2-0 here on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka Insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit GreaterTogetherCU.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at TLCPetFood.com.
Couple of changes for the Americans here in the bottom half of the fourth. Adam Weiss on the mound for the Americans. Take a look at the couple of changes. Weiss taking over on the mound for Colin Price, and Evan Shank will move to first base for the red, white, and blue defense. Coming in off of the bench is Evan Shank. So there's your changes. Ganschow, Jesmondi, and Harris from left to right in the outfield. Rowell at third. Glasscock still at short, and Glatfelter still at second. Pass still behind the dish. And Weiss on the mound. Evan Shank entering the game to play first base for the Americans. So leading off here in the bottom half of the fourth for the Doubledays is Miles Fontaine. was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat back in the second inning and stole a bag as well. Fontaine getting the start at third this afternoon for the Doubledays. Doubledays first ups after the rain delay. Still 87 degrees here at Falcon Park after a little bit of a rainstorm. Pop-up showers. Weiss deals the first pitch of the at-bat. A fastball misses up and away for ball number 1. Weiss pitched 2 innings in game 1 of the doubleheader against the Pioneers on Sunday as he misses low and away for ball number 2. Weiss not a great outing on Sunday against the Pioneers. Gave up a couple runs in that one, only going 2 innings, but just his first outing of the year. Pitch from Weiss, fastball misses upstairs, now 3-0. So Weiss way behind here against Miles Fontaine. Working from the windup, deals the 3-0. That one's in there. Called strike number 1. Fontaine batting from the right side. Weiss deals, misses upstairs, and Fontaine works a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 4th. So Fontaine, 2 plate appearances today and reached both times as in steps Steven Ambrogio, the right fielder this afternoon for the Doubledays. Ambrogio attends Alfred State. Played in 13 games this past year, 4 hits and 17 at-bats. Weiss deals a fastball low and away, misses for ball number 1. Weiss checks on Fontaine at first. There he goes. Pitch, misses up and in. Throw down from pass, not in time. Second stolen base of the day for Miles Fontaine, and the Doubledays have a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 4th.
Fontaine's 3rd stolen base, only had 1 prior, but that was an excellent jump there. No chance for pass to get him out, and now 2-0 and still runner in scoring position.
Pitch to Ambrogio, fastball misses up and in. Now 3-0. Weiss struggling to find the zone here. Weiss played infield at Herkimer County Community College this past year, but committed there originally as a 2-way pitcher outfielder. Pitch from Weiss, misses upstairs. So second straight walk of the inning for Adam Weiss. And now the Doubledays are set up first and second with nobody out, and Jake Bentavanga digging in. Weiss, Bentavanga squares around, gets a bunt down the third baseline. It's a beauty. Weiss fields, going to first. Safe! Bentavanga beats it out for a bunt single. And now the Doubledays have the bases loaded with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, just 9 pitches so far, 8 balls, and then just a perfectly bunt placed down that third base line. Weiss got it pretty quickly, but still no chance. So now bases are loaded, 2-0 game here. As they're trying to blow this one open.
Here's Braden Michelson, a big at-bat here with the bases loaded, nobody out. First pitch from Weiss, outside, misses 1-0. Americans will leave the middle back but bring the corners in, so a hot shot to either corner, Shank or Rowell. They're coming home with it, but up the middle, the red, white, and blue are going to turn 2. Pitch, outside corner, gets the call, now 1-1. So 2 walks and a hit in the inning for the Doubledays offense against Adam Weiss, the new pitcher for the Americans. Weiss working out of the windup. Deals to Michelson. Fouled straight back, now 1-2. Would be quite something if Weiss can work his way out of this, but still a long way to go. Nobody out, bases loaded. Quickly ahead here against Michelson, 1-2. Weiss deals the 1-2. Fastball fouled right back once again. Michelson all over it. Michelson plays his collegiate ball at Plymouth State, but played his sophomore year at Salem State University, so on his second school. Here's the pitch from Weiss. Curveball lands in the zone, popped up into shallow right. David Harris coming in, Gladfelter coming out, and Harris makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Nowhere near enough to tag up on that one. Big first out here for the Americans on that shallow fly out into right field.
Nice job by David Harris staying with it. With some overcast here in the sky, some sun peeking through, so a nice job by Harris to shield his eyes from the sun and haul it in. One out of the inning. Here's Michael Ambrogio. Pitch from Weiss, outside corner, strike number one.
Couple nice frames here from Pass. Really been struggling to throw runners out, but certainly has tricked the umpire. It feels like a couple times here, Tom.
Bases are loaded. One out in the inning. Pitch from Weiss, misses upstairs. Michael Ambrogio, the twin brother of Stephen Ambrogio. Michael also attends Alfred State. Just played in one game this year in left field. Getting the start as the extra hitter today. Pitch from Weiss, misses low and away. A good stop from Past. So now 2-1.
Ambrogio, no hits on the years, no RBIs either. Certainly looking for his first one here and a big spot here on the 2-1.
The Ambrogio brothers, natives of Auburn, New York. Here's the pitch from Weiss. Fouled down the first baseline. It's fair. That's going to go all the way to the corner. Harris fields in right field. One run is in. Here comes the second, and it's a two-out, two-run double for Michael Ambrogio. And Auburn extends their lead 4-0.
Felt like in a matter of time here for Auburn. Ambrogio able to just keep this one fair down that right field line. Able to get into a double score two. Felt like Weiss trying to get out of it there, but get 2 runs off of him.
Yeah, so a one-out double. Looked from my eyes like it was going to land foul, but snuck right in the foul line for a 2-run double for Ambrogio. Now the Americans will bring the infield in. Pitch to Flynn Shoup. Hit to the right side. Through for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Ambrogio, and he's going to score as well. Flynn Shoup, a 2-run single. And now the Doubledays lead 6-0 here at Falcon Park against the Americans.
We've talked about this team being able to hit. It looked like it was going to go right to Gladfelter. Just sort of squeaked to the right of him past the glove. It would have been a huge tick and have to keep the runners at second and third, but now all four runners score safely. Now it's a 6-0 game.
So the Doubledays pouring it on here in the bottom half of the fourth against Adam Weiss. Flynn Shoup off first. First pitch to Nacho Gonzalez is in there for strike number 1. So back-to-back 2-run hits for the Doubledays, and now they lead 6-0 against the Americans. Pick off to first. Shoup back in time. Just 1 out in the inning. Shoup over at first. Gonzalez at the dish. Pitch from Weiss. Fouled off down the left field line, out of play. Weiss coming in relief for Price. There goes Shoup off first. Past no throw down as the pitch is down and in. Another stolen base against the Americans. Americans really been struggling with the stolen base these past 2 games. Pitch from Weiss, fouled off down the left field line once again. It'll be a 1-2 pitch coming.
Certainly one of the cool quirks about this Auburn Doubledays field is you can see how fast the pitch is going in the top right of the scoreboard. I wonder how accurate it is. I don't know if Weiss had that hit that 85 miles an hour, but
pitch from Weiss outside, misses. Now 2-2. The Americans in their last game against the Red Wings surrendered 13 stolen bases. And already today surrendered 5. It'll be a full count pitch to Nacho Gonzalez. Flynn Shoup off second. We're in the Bottom half of the fourth, the Doubledays lead 6-0. Weiss comes set. Here's the pitch to Gonzalez. Outside, misses. A walk worked for the Doubledays, and Gonzalez reaches with one out here in the bottom of the fourth.
Bring up the new hitter who came in after the rain delay, Jaden Madrid, for an RBI of his own.
Madrid hitting .237 on the year, 3 RBIs. Hasn't played in the last 2 games, but comes into today, 5 for his last 20. Weiss from the stretch deals. In there, called strike number 1. So Madrid in for Teddy Monahan. Thomas Heaton maybe taking out Monahan, doesn't want him to get hurt. Or maybe just done for the day. Pitch to Madrid inside, misses, now 1-1. Rare move taking out Monahan this early, who's been so good for the Doubledays. Wonder if could be something health related. Gonzalez off first. There goes Shoop from second. Passes throw to third, not in time. Shoop swipes another bag, his second of the inning.
When they're up 6, they're still trying to steal. Runners steal second and third now. An easier here for Madrid to get RBIs, potentially 4 and 5.
So the 6th stolen base of the day for the Doubledays. Pitch, grounded ball to second. Gladfelter fields, coming home, and he throws it away. It gets bypassed. 1 run is in. Here comes another in Nacho Gonzalez. He scores. Madrid moves on to second, and the Doubledays lead 8-0 already here in the bottom of the fourth.
Gladfelter had plenty of time, just threw it out of the way there for a pass. Would have been an easy play to get him out at home. As Madrid scampers into second. Curious to see how they'll rule that one.
Yeah, it's going to be ruled an E4 on the throw. Gladfelter clearly frustrated with himself. He knows he can make that play as in steps Justin Batts. There goes Madrid off second. He steals third easily. And the 7th stolen base of the day for the Doubledays as Jaden Madrid slides in safely at third. Batts digs in. The Americans will bring the infield in. Pitch. Batts drives that one into right center. Jesmondi going back near the track. He makes the play. Almost slips as Madrid will tag up from third on the play. And now the Doubledays lead 9-0 against the Americans. A nice play by Jesmondi to be able to track it down in deep center. Here's Ethan Smith. First pitch from Weiss. Fastball, bottom of the zone, misses. Now 1-0. Doubledays are ahead 9-0 and really showing their successful offense today against the Americans. They score 8.2 runs a game and already at 9 here in the bottom of the fourth, as that one's on the outside corner, called strike. The Doubledays, a .379 slugging percentage, a .431 on base, which is good for second in the West Division. Pitch from Weiss, cut on and missed. A good slider from Weiss on the outside corner. Now 1-2 count coming to Ethan Smith. Weiss working from the windup, nobody on base. Tosses to the righty Smith. Fastball inside, misses. Now 2-2 evened up. Smith getting the start in left field this afternoon. A 3 o'clock start after a rain delay. We're back. Pitch. Hit up the middle and through for a base hit. It's a 2-out single for Ethan Smith. And now the Doubledays have batted around as Miles Smith's going to come up to the plate, who started this inning.
It's not really the outing Weiss has wanted. 2 errors, gave him 2 unearned runs, but still 7 runs score, albeit 5 earned.
These big innings really hurting the Americans these past 2 games. Surrendered a 9-run inning at Geneva on Tuesday night. Now a 7-run 4th inning here in Auburn. Smith off first, pickoff. Back in time. Seems like now the Americans will really focus and hone in on holding these runners, because that's been a struggle not only these past 2 games but all year. There goes Smith off first. Chop to third. Rowell will field. He'll go across the diamond. Throw is out. Gets Fontaine to end the inning. But in the inning, the Doubledays score 7 runs on 3 hits. 1 error in the inning and 1 runner left on base. The Doubledays are ahead 9-0 as the Americans are coming to bat here at Falcon Park on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park.
So the Doubledays are ahead big time now against the Americans, 9-0. As Soren Cooper's back out for his 5th inning of work. We're entering the top of the 5th here on a Friday afternoon in Auburn, New York. The Doubledays, a rich team history, named after Abner Doubleday, a Civil War veteran, native of Auburn, New York. Had the distinction of having the only city-owned professional baseball team in the country. The city of Auburn took ownership of the franchise in 1992. So here's Alex Glasscock to lead things off for the Americans. Playing shortstop this afternoon. Cooper deals the first pitch, outside corner, called strike number 1. Auburn used to be the Auburn Americans in 1980. So could be an Americans versus a former Americans matchup today. Misses upstairs. Now 1-1. So Glasscock steps in. Count is 1-1 against Soren Cooper. We're in the top half of the 5th. Pitch swung on and hit to right center. Ambrogio ranging back, and he hauls it in. A nice running catch out there for Steven Ambrogio for the first out of the inning.
The furthest hit balls we've seen from Glasscock, but Ambrogio able to track that one down for a long out number 1.
So now 1 out in the inning, and here's Evan Shank, who's going to take over in the extra hitter role for Logan Stickler. He came in as a defensive replacement for Adam Weiss over there at first, and he'll hit in Stickler's place. Pitch to Shank, ripped to left field. It's going to fall for a base hit. Shank will round first and head for second. It's a 1-out double for Evan Shank, and the Americans got something going here in the top half of the 5th.
Shank, who hasn't played, it feels like forever, laces one down that left field line. It went all the way to that 330 sign, able to get an easy double.
So it looks like Weiss will retain his spot in the order as he's on the mound. As Auburn's going to have their first mound visit of the afternoon here in the top half of the 5th. Soren Cooper surrendering his 3rd hit allowed today for the Americans. And Evan Shank doubled down the left field line. Shank really smoked that baseball, though. Really got a good piece of it.
Just the 3rd hit for Shank. 3 of his hits, Tom. Now 2 are doubles. A big one there. Americans looking to get at least a run here. Brings up Rowell.
The Niagara Falls Americans are thankful for the continued support of Blaze Brockway Contracting, a family-owned general contracting and home improvement business serving the greater Elmira and Southern Tier region. In business for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway specializes in both interior and exterior renovation projects, from kitchen remodels to framing and custom cabinet installation to gutter and roof improvements. Blaze Brockway has you covered. Call 607-259-7607 for all your construction and remodeling needs. So Cooper Rowell digs in from the right side. Evan Shank off second, one out in the inning, as the Americans have a little spark here on offense. Soren Cooper staying out there for the Doubledays. First pitch swung on and missed by Cooper Rowell. Rowell 0 for 1 today, struck out looking back in the third. Made a couple nice plays over at third base, though, this afternoon.
Yeah, no reason really not to bring him out. Only had 70 pitches so far.
Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs. Now 1-1 to Rowell. Shank off second, looking to score on a base hit. Rowell digs in from the right side against Cooper. The righty deals. Rowell gives that one a ride to right field. Ambrogio ranging back towards the foul line. He makes the catch. Shank and a tag up from second. Ambrogio's throws cut off by Shoup at short. And Shank moves up from second to third on the tag up.
Couple plays Ambrogio's way, a little bit easier than that Glasscock fly out, but Shank at third.
So in steps Nick Pass, his second at-bat today, struck out looking. The umpire's having a conversation, talking something over. Maybe if there's something going on with that play, whether Shank left early or not or something, but not sure. We resume baseball play. Shank at third now, Pass at the dish. Pass still hitless in his last 5 games. First pitch of the at-bat from Soren Cooper. Swung on and missed, strike one.
Soren Cooper still out there on the mound, by the way, for the Auburn Doubledays. He's only given up 3 hits, 1 error on the field.
Pass quickly behind 0-1. Shank off of third. Cooper working from the stretch. Deals to Pass. Pass swung on and missed once again, now 0-2.
We've talked about his hot start, Tom, but really it just feels like since then he's really been struggling.
The Yankee Stadium sirens sound. 0-2 pitch to Pass. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Soren Cooper really doing the most today on the mound for the Doubledays as he retires the Americans' offense. And the Doubledays are coming to bat here in the top half of the 5th.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park.
Back here at Falcon Park in Auburn, New York, Adam Weiss back out for his second inning of work against the Doubledays, who lead 9-0. The Americans got a runner to scoring position there in that last half an inning in an Evan Shank double, but he was left at third in the inning. Just a 7-inning ball game today. We're now in the bottom half of the fifth as the Doubledays come to bat. 5:06 p.m. here on a Friday night in Auburn. The Americans really struggling today with the stolen base. Playing 7 innings. So if the Doubledays are ahead by 12 runs after 5, the game is over. So Auburn needs 3 runs to win this one here in this inning or next inning. If not, they can hold on for 7 and win it. First pitch from Weiss misses low and away for ball number 1. Against Miles Fontaine. Check that. Here's Stephen Ambrogio. Pitch hit into right field, and it will dunk in there for a base hit as Stephen Ambrogio reaches on the leadoff single. Ambrogio, a nice piece of hitting there, dunked that one in right in front of Dave Harris in right field. So in steps Jake Bentavanga with Ambrogio off first, nobody out in the inning. Bentavanga doing the catching this afternoon for the Doubledays. First pitch from Weiss, cut on and missed for strike number 1. Weiss quickly ahead 0-1 here against Bentavanga. 8, 9, 10 coming up next for the Doubledays. Pitch from Weiss outside. Good take from Bentavanga on the slider from Weiss. Now 1-1. Weiss steals the 1-1. Cut on and fouled on the first baseline. So now 1-2, Weiss ahead. Pitch from Weiss. That one's flown into shallow center. It'll dunk in for a base hit and get by Jesmondi. It's a running game now. Ambrogio will score from first, and Bentavanga will reach third. And looks like Auburn's going to celebrate after winning 10-0 here on a Mercy Rule victory. I was told it was a 12-run Mercy after 7 innings, but looks like it's different. A 10-0 win for the Doubledays today on a walk-off single to center and an E8, and the Doubledays win 10-0 against the Americans.
Just a long run there for Jesmondi. We've seen him make that play before. Falls just under him. It bounces away. So we're going to see a Gatorade shower here on the walk-off winner. Auburn, it was a 2-0 game, but just that 7 runs in the 4th off of Weiss, and then just that triple there gives them their 2nd straight win. So the Americans now fall 2 in a row.
So that big inning really hurts the Americans once again. Tuesday night's loss against Geneva, a 9-run inning. And in this game, a 7-run inning for the Doubledays really propelled this one to a victory. And the Americans will have a tough one tomorrow, taking on the Muck Dogs at home on the 4th of July.
Yeah, Batavia 1-1 on the year against, Auburn 1-1 in the year against the Muck Dogs. Americans are going to end this winning streak and at least give the fans something to look for here. Just another tough game for the Americans. When they head out east here against Auburn and Geneva, they've really struggled.
Yeah, really have struggled in these tough games. I mean, you look at the Americans' season on a whole, it's been kind of a big roller coaster, right? They went on a little bit of a run there in the middle of the year, a couple in a row. They won 5 of 6, and now lately they've lost their last 2 games this week. Only played 2 games this week, but really lost them both, and they'll head back home to Sal Magley Stadium to play their first home game in since Sunday against the Pioneers. Back-to-back days at home, Saturday, tomorrow. The 6:30 start here on the American Sports Network. We'll be live at 6:20, Americans Muck Dogs. Then Sunday, a doubleheader against the Red Wings at South Magley Stadium. A 2:05 start for Game 1. We'll be live at 1:55 here on the American Sports Network. I'm Tom Rook alongside Ethan Duncan. We say thanks so much for spending part of your Friday afternoon with us. A 3 p.m. start. And the Doubledays win this one 10-0. We hope you have a great rest.